thank you for coming, right, and thank you for hosting me in Fiji now, right. I took office in Washington D.C. at the executive board in November 1st last year. I represent 11 countries. It's called the Southeast Asia Working Group, which includes Fiji and Tonga. And my interest in making this visit is to have a consultation with the authorities as I represent these countries in the board, with a view to better understand the needs of these economies in this region, so that we can better represent clients. Fiji is a client of ours in the bank, Tonga is a client. So basically to get guidance on how we can do better at the board, to support what the priorities, what the needs of the countries are. And I had very good discussions yesterday at the Reserve Bank of Fiji. They gave a very good overview of the economy, the kind of changes that has happened in the last couple of years. There is quite a lot of optimism in terms of the economic performance. It has recovered very well from the last crisis, global crisis. And in today's discussion, we had an overview of the macroeconomic situation as well as the fiscal policy issues. This gives me a better understanding of where the growth trajectory of the Fiji economy is, and all the various reform initiatives that are being undertaken by the government of Fiji. I think the reform initiatives will strengthen the economy further. There's a lot of very important work being done from the reform side, and that is, we are happy to see that. And this is something, a message that I will take back when I go back to the bank, to see the engagement of the multilateral institution with countries in this region. So overall, I'm very happy that I was here. I was able to see for myself the development context of countries in this specific region. Thank you.
Thank you, Edi. Now open to the press. Any questions?
So I'm from FBC News.
Yes.
So what is your recommendation now that you'll go back after having discussions with the Finance Ministry and the RBF to the World Bank?
You see, we have consultation. This is a regular consultation where I do with all the all the countries that I represent, right? And a better understanding of your needs, of the country's needs. I know that you have your medium-term plans. There are needs in the various infrastructure areas, the port areas, roads, right? So when the bank starts to engage with the government here, right, these are the priority areas, because we want the bank to be able to support what are the priorities of the client countries. So basically, to hear it from you would enable me to make a better representation to board system. The engagement here will be aligned with what the client needs. So that is basically my purpose of the visit, and I have a good understanding of that. This is something, it's an ongoing dialogue, right? There will be a lot of consultations, so that what the bank does eventually in Fiji will be aligned with what the government needs. Okay.
Perhaps a comment from peers regarding Mr. Edi's visit.
Yes, as Edi's mentioned, these are some of the preliminary steps that we normally take as we work towards projects that the World Bank may be able to assist us in. We all know that we are all looking forward to the election that will take place next year. So whilst the progress takes place, there are certain needs from government side or from the country side that needs to be addressed, and which perhaps will be better addressed by the World Bank. And these needs were presented to the ED during this visit, and it's the beginning of consultations that we will need to take. There are normal processes that we have to go through, but we've highlighted certain areas which are critical for us in terms of trying to grow the economy. We have the objective of growing the economy and increasing investment, And the emphasis, therefore, has been on certain sectors which will allow us to grow. And one key sector is that of infrastructure development, as we would all know from this year's budget. And that again was raised with the executive director. Some of the infrastructures that they can consider supporting when re-engagement does happen. And then this includes facilities such as ports or roads, which has been mentioned by the ED. We also have certain areas such as renewable energy, and those are some sectors as well that can be considered. But as I mentioned, these are first steps, consultations, get a better understanding of what has happened, where we would like to progress towards, and what sort of assistance is available from the World Bank. And ED is our representative there. He is able to take this forth to the various parties that they will have discussions with in the bank.
These consultations, they will also review possibly 2014 budget as well?
This consultation that we highlighted to the executive director what some of the thinkings were in the designing of the 2013 budget, but there was no discussion of the 2014 budget. As you all know, the process is beginning now. But we highlighted to the executive director the sectors that we would like to see grow. And of course the World Bank does not cover everything. There are certain sectors that they support, so he's aware now for which ones they can probably consider and discuss more, and which ones would be for the other multilateral institutions. So there's no discussion of the 2014 budget, but they made aware of where we would like to take growth, some of our macroeconomic numbers. So that's the important thing for ED, and which he wants to get from this mission, is a better understanding of the economy and what our plans are going forward.
I have another question for the director. I could be wrong, but after the 2006 coup, the World Bank only gives loans to the private sector in Fiji. In light of the progress that we have made in regards to the constitution in the 2014 elections, are you going to make recommendations for the bank to give a loan to the government as well?
This is part of the dialogue. This is part of the engagement, right? As we progress towards development along that lines, right? This is my visit as a ED for the countries to better understand the developments along multiple dimensions, right? And as I said, these discussions are held at various levels. I think there was some staff which came here to take this dialogue further, so that we'll be ready when conditions are appropriate, that there will be a higher level of engagement with the bank. So that's where we are at this stage now.
That's bank.